Have you ever had one of those mornings where you wake up and something just feels off? Maybe it's a little stiffness in your joints, a foggy head that won't quite clear, or the sense that you're moving just a little slower than yesterday. You might brush it off as just getting older. But what if I told you that many of the things we blame on aging are actually signs of something deeper, and they're often avoidable? The truth is, getting older doesn't have to mean giving up your strength, your independence, or your energy. You don't have to sit back and wait for your health to decline. In fact, there are simple, everyday choices you can make to protect your body and mind well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. But you have to know what to watch out for. That's what we're going to talk about today. The 5 most common health pitfalls seniors face, and more importantly, how you can avoid them and live a longer, fuller life. Let's be honest, after 60 or 70, it can feel like your body's working against you. Energy drops more quickly. You might get sick more easily. Maybe you notice your memory isn't as sharp, or your balance isn't quite what it used to be. But here's the good news. Many of these changes aren't inevitable. They're often the result of hidden habits that sneak up on us, and once you recognize them, you can take control again. Let's start with something that affects millions of seniors every day: not drinking enough water. I know it sounds simple, but dehydration is one of the most overlooked health pitfalls, and it can be surprisingly dangerous. As we age, our sense of thirst becomes less reliable. That means you might not feel thirsty, even when your body desperately needs fluids. And when that happens, the symptoms can be sneaky: fatigue, dizziness, headaches, dry mouth, even confusion. In fact, many emergency room visits for older adults are linked to dehydration and its side effects, especially during warmer months or after mild illnesses. So what can you do? First, don't wait until you're thirsty. Make drinking water a regular part of your daily routine. Have a glass first thing in the morning, another with each meal, and one before bed. If plain water feels boring, try infusing it with slices of lemon, cucumber, or berries to give it some flavor without adding sugar. You can also eat water-rich foods like watermelon, cucumber, and soups. The goal is to stay ahead of dehydration before it causes problems, because the truth is, a well-hydrated body is a stronger, clearer, and more balanced one. Now, let's talk about another pitfall that quietly creeps into daily life: not moving enough. You don't need to run marathons or join a gym, but one of the biggest mistakes people make after 70 is becoming too sedentary. And it's easy to see why. Maybe it starts with some joint pain, or maybe you just don't feel as steady on your feet as you used to. So you sit more, rest more, and without even realizing it, your muscles begin to weaken, your balance gets worse, and everyday tasks become harder. Movement isn't just about exercise, it's about independence. The ability to walk to the kitchen, climb stairs, get out of a chair without help. When we stop using our muscles, we start losing them. And that loss leads to falls, injuries, and more time stuck in bed. But the good news? Even gentle movement can make a huge difference. A 20-minute walk each day, some light stretching in the morning, standing up and sitting down from a chair 10 times. These little things might not feel like much, but they're building strength, improving circulation, and keeping you mobile. You don't have to do it all at once. Just start where you are and keep moving forward. Now, let's dive into something a little harder to talk about, but just as important: ignoring mental and emotional health. After a certain age, people often stop asking how you're really doing. They assume you're okay, or they chalk up sadness or forgetfulness to old age. But let me tell you this: your mental well-being is just as important as your physical health. Feeling isolated, anxious, or unmotivated isn't just part of getting older. It's a sign your emotional needs might not be getting met. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. We all go through times where we feel disconnected, especially after retirement, the loss of a loved one, or when routines suddenly change. But here's the thing: staying emotionally healthy takes intention. It means finding ways to stay connected, to laugh, to feel useful. Maybe that's calling a friend every morning, joining a local group, or volunteering for a cause that matters to you. Even picking up a new hobby, like painting or gardening, can lift your spirits more than you'd think. Keeping your brain and heart active can protect against depression and even delay cognitive decline. There's a quiet strength that comes from taking care of your mind. Don't be afraid to talk to someone. a counselor, a friend, even your doctor, if you're struggling. There's no weakness in asking for help. In fact, it takes courage. And that courage can change everything. Now that we've looked at some of the biggest health traps that catch people off guard, let's keep this momentum going. Because the more we understand, the more empowered we become to live not just longer, but better. You've probably heard the old saying, "You are what you eat." And while that might have sounded like a cliché when we were younger, the truth behind it becomes crystal clear as we age. One of the most common and most underestimated health pitfalls for seniors is poor nutrition. It's not always intentional. Sometimes it's just a matter of convenience. Cooking full meals can feel like a chore. Grocery trips become less frequent. Your appetite might not be what it used to be. But when our bodies aren't getting the right fuel, everything starts to suffer. Our energy, our strength, even our mood. You'd be surprised how many older adults are walking around with low levels of essential nutrients and don't even know it. Vitamin D, B12, calcium, magnesium, these aren't just little details. They play huge roles in your immune system, brain function, bone health, and energy levels. And when they're missing, you might feel tired all the time, experience muscle cramps, feel off balance, or even start forgetting things more than usual. That's why it's so important to focus on quality nutrition, even if your appetite is smaller. Try to pack more value into each meal. Think colorful fruits and vegetables, lean protein like chicken or fish, whole grains like oats and brown rice, and healthy fats from olive oil, nuts, or avocados. Even just adding one or two of these to your daily routine can give your body the support it needs to thrive. And if preparing meals every day feels overwhelming, you don't have to do it all alone. There are services that deliver fresh, healthy meals right to your door. Some senior centers even offer free or discounted lunch programs. You can also keep easy, nutrient-rich snacks on hand, like Greek yogurt, boiled eggs, or a banana with a spoonful of peanut butter. Small changes really do add up. You're not just eating to survive. You're eating to stay sharp, strong, and steady on your feet. Now, this next pitfall is one that creeps up silently, but it has one of the biggest impacts on quality of life: ignoring sleep issues. Let's be real. Getting a good night's sleep after 60 isn't always as easy as it used to be. You might find yourself waking up multiple times during the night, struggling to fall back asleep, or feeling tired even after 8 hours in bed. And it's easy to think, well, this is just part of aging. But here's the truth. Consistent, restful sleep is vital for your health, no matter your age. When sleep is off, everything else suffers. Your immune system weakens, making it easier to catch colds or infections. Your brain has a harder time forming memories and staying focused. Your mood dips. Even your balance and coordination can be affected, which increases your risk of falls. So what can you do to improve sleep without relying on medications that might leave you groggy? Start by setting a consistent bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends. Your body thrives on routine. Limit screen time before bed, especially phones or TV, since the blue light can interfere with melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep. Try dimming the lights and listening to calming music or reading a book as you wind down. And here's a big one. Cut back on caffeine, especially in the afternoon. You'd be amazed how much that 3 p.m. coffee can keep your brain buzzing well into the night. Herbal teas like chamomile or valerian root can be soothing alternatives. Also, don't underestimate the power of your sleep environment. A quiet, dark, and cool room can make a world of difference. If you're still struggling, talk to your doctor. Sometimes sleep issues are tied to other conditions like sleep apnea, restless legs, or medications you're taking. There are solutions out there. You don't have to settle for restless nights. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you: skipping regular health checkups. It's easy to think, I feel fine, so I must be fine. But the tricky thing about many age-related health issues is that they don't always show symptoms right away. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, even early signs of diabetes or cancer, they can quietly develop for months or even years without causing noticeable discomfort. By the time you start feeling unwell, the problem may have progressed. But with routine checkups and screenings, you can catch these issues early, when they're most treatable. That means fewer complications, simpler treatments, and a much better chance at maintaining your independence. And I get it. Going to the doctor can be a hassle. Maybe you've had a bad experience or you just don't like being poked and prodded. But think of these visits like tune-ups for your car. You wouldn't wait for your engine to start smoking before you took it in, right? Your body deserves the same kind of proactive care. Make a checklist of important screenings based on your age and medical history: blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, colonoscopies, eye exams, hearing tests. Stay up to date on vaccines. Two things like the flu shot, shingles vaccine, and pneumonia shot are especially important as we age. These appointments might seem small in the moment, but they could be what helps you stay on your feet, stay independent, and enjoy more years doing the things you love. And don't forget, part of those checkups should include open conversations about how you're really feeling. Your doctor isn't just there to take your blood pressure, they're your partner in health. So speak up. Mention anything that feels off, even if it seems minor. A little question today could prevent a big problem tomorrow. Staying on top of these checkups doesn't mean you're fragile. It means you're smart. You're being proactive. And that decision, just like drinking more water, moving your body, eating well, and sleeping better, is a powerful step toward a longer, healthier life. There's one more pitfall we need to talk about, and it might be the most invisible of them all. It's isolation. Now, I know that might not sound like a health issue at first glance, but trust me, loneliness can affect the body just as much as the mind. And for many people over 60, especially those who've lost a spouse or live far from family, it sneaks in quietly. You might go days without talking to someone, maybe even weeks without meaningful conversation. And over time, that silence weighs on you. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can increase the risk of heart disease, dementia, depression, and even early death. In fact, some experts say the effects of long-term isolation on the body are just as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's how powerful connection is. It's not just something nice to have. It's essential. So how do you combat that? Especially if your social circle has shrunk or mobility makes it harder to get out. The good news is you don't need a crowd. You just need a few good connections. Maybe it's joining a walking group in your neighborhood, or attending a local church or community center event once a week. Even something as simple as chatting with the cashier at the grocery store or calling an old friend can brighten your day and remind you that you're not alone. And if getting out really is tough, technology can help bridge the gap. Video calls, online communities, even joining virtual classes or hobby groups. These can open up a whole world of connection without you needing to leave your favorite chair. You might even surprise yourself with how much joy a weekly Zoom with your grandkids can bring. The important thing is to take that first step. Because connection isn't just good for the heart metaphorically. It literally strengthens your immune system, lowers stress hormones, and boosts feel-good brain chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. Social interaction is nourishment for the soul, and when we're nourished emotionally, our bodies thrive too. And here's the real kicker. When you start avoiding these common health pitfalls, everything else gets better. You'll find that your energy increases, your balance improves, your confidence comes back. You start sleeping better, eating better, feeling better in your own skin. You stop worrying so much about what could go wrong and start enjoying what's already going right. This isn't about being perfect. You don't have to run marathons or cook gourmet meals or become a meditation guru. You just need to be consistent. One small step each day, one smart choice at a time. That's how real change happens. So let's quickly reflect, not to recap, but to remind ourselves of the power we hold. By moving your body a little each day, fueling it with real food, prioritizing your sleep, staying proactive with your health checkups, and reaching out to others, you are rewriting your story. You're not just getting older, you're growing stronger, wiser, and more intentional with every choice. And if you've made it this far in the video, that tells me something important about you. You care. You care about your health, your future, and the life you still have to live. That mindset alone is one of your biggest strengths. So don't let anyone tell you it's too late to make a change. It's never too late. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or 90, there's always something you can do to make your next chapter your best one yet. If you found this video helpful, I'd love to hear from you. What's one change you're thinking about making? Share it in the comments below. We read every single one. And you never know who might be inspired by your story. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if it resonated with you, and subscribe to the channel for more honest, helpful tips on living well at every age. We're building a community here of people who want to live fully, live wisely, and live with joy together. Here's to more strength, more energy, and more years doing the things you love, with the people who matter most. You've got this, and we're right here with you.